Hello, guys. Alex Fedotoff here, and today we have one of our clients in ESS program, Santiago. My man, he's doing about 15K a day with his e-commerce business. He's based in Argentina. He's an awesome guy. It's like he's always sharing, very, very valuable insights. And man, I'm very happy to have you on and just get some knowledge, nuggets from you.
Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I'm always happy to share knowledge.
How old are you, my man?
I'm 22.
Yes, it's like everyone is so in our community, like you guys are so young and so sharp. I'm always impressed, man. I'm so proud, that we have such a talent with us, my man. So you've tell me more about your background, like when you started with e-commerce, like how it started for you.
Good. So I'm from Argentina. Here the normal salary is like $200 a month, so it was pretty difficult to start. I moved to Denmark to wash dishes and doing food delivery on a bicycle, like Uber Eats or something like that. And then I started saving money, investing in courses. I learned English that way. I didn't speak any word of English 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So wow, that's how I started. Crazy. Yeah, learning with my headphones, doing delivery, and slowly investing into e-commerce. Hit my first winner, made some money. Say let's fuck it. I'll go to travel the world. So I left Denmark. I went to Cyprus. I lived in Cyprus, the paradise, beautiful place, for 2 months. Then COVID was disturbing everything. We got a lot of flight cancellations. We were planning to go to live in Paris, France. And meanwhile, we were running the business with my girlfriend and testing products like crazy. And we couldn't find another winner. So we started losing money. I moved back to Argentina because COVID and family and a lot of stuff. Also, it's cheaper to live here. So after this whole situation, I had to sit down and say had to learn e-commerce again. And I come from a background of business. I like business things. I've been running different kind of businesses, having a manager in an ice cream shop in Denmark, speaking another language, like crazy stuff. And I always like to be moving. I started doing e-commerce as a real brand. I focused on the real things. So I built community. I tried to build a niche with value information, value products. And because my brand. So basically that's how I got an edge. And suddenly, from losing $5,000 in 3 months, I went to a lot of profits in January. We sold over 200K.
January this year, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. January this year. So from then we started to grow and hire people. I always been hiring people. So I started first, on my first winner, the first thing I did, I was not testing creatives, but I was hiring people. So I was hiring customer support and fulfillment BAs. That's what made my time worth more money and more value, whatever. I can take more value from my time if I can take out all these tasks. So we started hiring people. We had to fire some people in the middle. That's the biggest thing you learn when you hire people, is to fire. That's the most difficult thing. And you can see if someone has experience hiring people and managing teams, you will notice that when they fire people and how they decide to fire people, because it's very difficult. And most people takes a lot of time. Most people take a lot of time saying well, this person will improve, this person maybe I taught him wrong, and maybe I have to give an SOP, maybe I have to pay more, whatever. It's the biggest mistake you have to make. So that's how I started. And then I joined the ESS program 2 months or 3 months ago, and our business increased, I don't know, 3x, 4x maybe. And I'm super happy about that, because I was so skeptical about this program, because I got scammed before, 3 times I got scammed. And some people just blocked me after a mentoring that was a fake thing. So I was hearing all these testimonials, and I thought okay, this be a lie. And I couldn't believe that there were people doing like such high numbers, like millions per month, like 3-4 million per month. And then I joined the community. I started networking with people, and I actually met some amazing people in the community. So I think that's the most valuable thing I did in the last weeks.
That's awesome, man. So, all right. So you running, is that the same brand? Like, so the same brand you're running now, you've been running the same brand since like January, or like
Yes.
that changed as well?
In January, we launched 2 brands, and we've been running this one, like the main one is still running, doing 15K days. And the other brand is like a little bit dead because we wanted to focus on one, but it's still like these products still working.
That's nice, man. So what kind of like, what did you do like in terms of like product, like research process? Did you do anything different than other people? Like, how did you find this kind of like, because a lot of people, you know, this term like product saturated, you know, whatever people say. And like, have you seen that happening? Like, or do you actually believe that product could be like saturated or anything like that?
I think product can be saturated for sure. And I think product saturation exists, but what doesn't exist is like angle saturation. So you can never say this angle is saturated or this product is saturated, because you can find different angles. And sorry, I said like product saturation doesn't exist and angle does exist. So if you're trying to sell the same pen for the same angle, the same idea, the same people, you will find it very difficult. And you can see that with the posture corrector, these like evergreen products that has been running for years, and now it's very difficult to sell these products. So what I do for product research, I try to find products that are not saturated. So there are not many people selling them. They have not been many people selling these products. And the key difference is I do a huge market analysis. So I don't only do like these, many people do like market analysis or like customer avatar, and they say like, oh, he's 30 to 35 years old and he's a woman and works in schools. Like, I don't do that shit. What I do is going through the ads of competitors, going through YouTube channels on the same niche, going through like Reddit, blog posts, Twitter. We found hashtags, and we trying to scrape all the information we can take from internet.
So you go so deep, basically, once you kind of like,
that's it. Going so deep that you find some insights, and these insights are super valuable. And then that's what makes the difference. Sometimes it's a little thing like that you can say like, oh, I could have figured out without doing all this deep analysis, but you won't. Like I split test product testing with this deep analysis and without it, and it really changed.
So okay, so you do that analysis. Let's say whatever niche you're in. Let's say like you're in the beauty niche, right? So you go in there, you go Reddit. Like, so what exactly are you looking for? Like, what kind of like insights or what type of information you're looking for?
Yeah, first I go for the product. So I see what people say about a product, like reviews and everything on Amazon. You mentioned that always. I heard that from you, and also I added some things to my method from you. So reviews, information about the customers, what they like, what they don't like, what they want in the product. Then I go to these social medias and I try to search what people is talking about, like what interests them, what moves them, what makes them emotional, what makes them like share something, wanted to share. So what's the problem? Like it's super easy if you're selling like some skincare beauty for men, you go on the main blogs. Maybe for men it's a little bit more difficult, but you go and you see like so many people get irritation in the skin when they shave. So there you have a niche, but it's super more deep. Like it's way deeper than just like having irritable skin. So they have a lot of other problems. Like they may have like a lack of time. They may have like, they procrastinate to do so. So there's a lot of things that you can introduce to your product. So then I use all this information to create an offer. So for example, if you are selling like a skincare for men, then you go niche down and to like people that have irritation when they shave, you have a skincare. And then you think like, well, what's the problem I can solve to these people? Not only the irritation, but maybe they procrastinate. Maybe they don't find like a place to buy this stuff, or maybe they forget to buy this stuff and then they are like in a bad way and they don't want to share because it takes some time, and like a lot of things you can add to the product as an info product, like services or ways to communicate, sell the product, the business model. Maybe I use everything to create an offer, and then I never offer like a 50% off as a main offer. My main offer is always adding some value, like extra products for free, extra accessories for free, extra info products plus a product plus something like
I see. That's interesting. So you approach it similar to like what like Russell Brunson does, right? Like with kind of like offer stacking and stuff, right?
Absolutely, exactly.
That's interesting. And so you do that for physical products as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I know, like, for example, you know, the information product, this is how you sell the information product. You know, you just kind of like stack a lot of things together. You get this, and then you get this, and this, and this. But now you're applying the same framework for, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So, okay, so you've done that research. Like, how much time typically would take you to do like all of that research, like from start to finish, typically?
I don't do it myself right now, but it should take like about 2 hours, but it always take more time. Like I say 2 hours of deep work, but then like I spend some time like looking at videos on YouTube when I'm in the bathroom, or maybe I spend some time like in other moments of the day looking of the product, looking on Facebook groups, even going into the profiles of people that comment in the ads of competitors and see what they like, see what they do, see what they post. And all of this time, I don't know, I will say like 3-4 hours maybe.
Nice. First, did you do it by yourself? You kind of like figured it out, and then you trained your like team members to do exactly the same?
Exactly. And they do it well. Like I created a template for that, like the questions to ask, the things to fill in the report or the analysis. And then I recorded like 2 hours of video of myself doing the analysis myself and talking to like why I think that or how I think some things, and that's it.
That's awesome, man. So let's talk about hiring, right? Like, because I think that's such a, you know, that's been like a big like game changer for you. Like, you know, you told me like the numbers that, I mean, you've scaled your business, and I mean, hiring and just like allocating like more time for yourself to do more valuable, you know, tasks in your own business has been a, you know, a big like game changer for you. So who was your first like hire? Like, so when you started the business, I mean, you're green, like you're fresh, like who was your first, you know, hire? How did you proceed?
Yeah, fulfillment VA, because I was doing AliExpress fulfillment, so it was a mess. I hired a fulfillment VA, friend of mine. That was the first one, and then customer support like a week after, or maybe 2-3 days after, customer support. And I hired another friend, then I had to fire him and hire his sister, and she's working with me right now still.
How those like first hires like worked out for you? Because I mean, because before this call, you know, we talked about like firing people, and like, I mean, some team members simply don't work out. So like, how those first hires worked out for you?
The first hire was fine until I gave him like a full-time role. So the first, like, he was pretty good at fulfillment when he was doing like 20 minutes per day. So he was charging me per hour. So I hired him by hours. So he was doing like half an hour a day. I never had to think about logistics anymore. Like, he managed everything of logistics. I never looked in that. That was a mistake. Of course, you have to check people, but I was super busy with other stuff. You know, like I was one-man business, and yeah, I just hand off logistics. So that was great. But then I decided to give him like a full-time role with a lot of stuff, because I was so busy with a lot of things in my plate or in my list. So I said like, okay, can you do this? He said, yes. Can you do that? Yes. Can you do that? Yes. But then the compound of all of these different tasks take out the focus on the logistics and fulfillment. So he started to make mistakes on logistics and send wrong products to wrong customers. And that was a mess. We lost a lot of money. We tried to figure out how to solve that. And after 2 weeks, he made the same mistake again with another product. And that's when we decided to fire him.
Okay. So So do you think that was like kind of like that was your mistake, or like that was not managing his time or like responsibilities correctly? Who would you say like?
Yeah, always was my mistake. I think I take the full responsibility on that, because I knew like he was not performing well like for 3 months before this issue happened. So he was not listing the product correctly. One of his tasks was like to upload products to Shopify from suppliers. So he was putting the wrong SKUs. He was putting like
It's not like it's not like a rocket science task, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty like, I mean, it's one of the easiest things you can do. Like, so even with that, he was making mistakes.
Yeah, he was making like logic mistakes. I mean, logic, not like common sense mistake. Like if you list a product and you have 3 variants, you cannot put like ABC, because customers won't understand what ABC means. You have to put like specific information. And he was making these mistakes. And my girlfriend said to me, and all other team members say like, hey, you have to take action on this. And I was like, oh no, maybe we taught him wrong, and maybe we were not like clear enough. So we started to communicate more clear, or like in a more transparent way, like giving step-by-step things how to do and blah, blah, blah. And he was improving, but still making mistakes. And that's when I should have fired him. And I procrastinated on that. I didn't want to fire him. He was a friend of mine. He was nice and blah, blah, blah. So time went by and we lost like 5K in total. And a lot of customers and complaints and feedback score went down, and that was it.
Wow. Okay. So then like what got you to finally make an action? At what point you just said like, oh, fuck, that's it?
We had a product that the cost was $15. And then we found another supplier, the cost was $7, so half. And I said to this guy, I said like, hey, please change this supplier for this supplier. He was doing logistics. Please change that. And I sent a video like on my screen, like, hey, please change this for that, because it's cheaper. And we've been talking about this in meetings and like cheaper supplier and everything. And then it was like 10 p.m. I was checking something on my computer, and I don't know how, like I went into the product and I said like, I'll check the SKU. And when I checked, he was shipping the product like cost like $7 more. So we were struggling on the profits, thinking like Facebook ad was a mess. And the issue was the logistics. And I just went to sleep, and next day I just called him and said like, I'm sorry, but like this is a team and you're putting the risk on all the team members. It's not just my pocket or my business. It's like all the people, and that cannot continue anymore. And he didn't understood, and he complained about it, and he wanted to like solve this. And after all, we kept talking about it, and we ended nice. So it was all good at the end. He understood.
So what was like, so let's say right now, like the same situation would repeat for yourself, like would your course of action would be different? Like, would you react faster? Would you like take some action faster?
Way faster. Right now I have a spreadsheet, and I take notes of every mistake someone makes. Even though it's a small mistake, I say like, it's all good, no problem. But when I see a pattern of like repeated mistakes, and when I see 3 things, just
holy shit, man. So then like, I mean, geez. So then, I mean, because for me, it's also, I remember who fucked up where, but like, I typically keep those like, in the back of my head. Like this way, you don't have to remember. I mean, you just have it on the sheet.
Like if I'm busy doing other important stuff, I cannot pay attention to like someone messed up one SKU. Like I don't care. I say like, okay, solve it. Like don't bother me. And then it compounds, and then you figure out like 3 months after that he was fucking everything in your business. So yeah, that's what I do right now. And I will take action like first problem, strike number 1. Like first time you tell him like you have to do it that way. Like second time, like strike number 1, man. Like be clear, saying like if you repeat this mistake, you'll be fired. So be clear, because other issue that kept me from firing this employee was that I never communicate to him that he was making big mistakes. He thought like it was a small mistake, and he never thought that I will fire him. So I felt bad sometimes. I was talking to him, and he was like, oh, but I think I'm doing great because I did this, and that was great. I connected like 70 products in a week. And like, I was like, but you messed up like 5 of them, and that shouldn't happen. And I never was clear with like the KPIs. So first thing, take notes. Second thing, just to summarize, second thing, like be clear, like you make this mistake, you make it again and you're fired. And next time they make it, you have to say like, well, next time, like this is the last one. Like,
hey guys, people have been asking me how we scale to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook. And we have a very sophisticated solution for this that I want to share with you, but it's just like too valuable to give away for free. So if you guys want this solution, just book a call with one of my team members and we'll show you exactly what it is and how it works, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you and for your business. So just book a call with my team member. We'll share it with you so you can scale your business to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, without having inconsistency, and with high profitability. So just book a call with my team and I'll see you there.
Next time, I won't tell you you are fired. Next time this happens, you're automatically fired. So you fire yourself. So that way, like you avoid all the pressure on you of going to fire these people and have a bad day.
Okay. Yeah, because it's kind of like you want to be good to people, right? And so like, and then it's kind of like goes against your nature when you do something like that. But then if you make it like it's pure logic, and it's clear and expectations are clear from both sides. What is expected, and you know what is expected. They know what is expected. There are no secrets, and it becomes like a lot easier decision and just like no brainer for like for both sides.
Exactly. That's my main issue. I'm super empathic or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I really feel the people, and I don't like to make them feel bad or hurt them. I want to help people. So like it's super hard to me. So I have to be very clear right now. Right now I'm super clear with everyone.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So have you also had, obviously you probably had like, how big is your team right now?
We are 10 right now, and we are planning to be 20 by the end of the year.
Nice. How do you hire them in the first place? How do you find like good people?
Well, my first system was hiring friends, and that doesn't work. So like, don't do it. First, like, don't go through this whole year of firing and hiring some friends, and then don't do it. What I do right now is I have a talent funnel, and I will recommend to everyone watching this, take consultant calls or like consultancy in human resources and business. Because if you talk to someone that hired like 1,000 people, 2,000 people in his life, you can learn a lot that you will have to like hire 1,000 people to learn. So take consultancies, like, and now we're talking to these people can bring you a lot of value. So that's what I did. And that's how I ended making a talent funnel. We post this job request in a lot of places, and we use a Google form to have like specific key questions. And we ask them like pretended salary. We ask them like experience. We ask them like, how did they learn? If they use YouTube, they can learn by themselves, or they just went to school and they learned that in a program or something. And we try to mix these questions to filter people. And then we have a massive spreadsheet with like 400 people, 300 people, and we filter them out, and we start to put in red color on the ones that we don't like. And then we end with like 30 people, usually, like from 300 to 30 people. And these 30 people, usually we read like the last question, and the most important one is like, why should we choose you? And some people say like, because I'm the best one, because I know how to do it, because I, and we don't like that people. Like that people is turned red automatically. It doesn't matter if they ask for like no money, they have a lot of experience. We don't ask these people. So we hire people that say like, because I want to learn, because I think that's my future job, and I want to be the best one doing that. And I'm learning that. I don't have so much experience, but I'm willing to give everything. I'm willing to work everything. I'm willing to take courses. I'm willing, like, these people is the key people that we want to hire. And we prefer to spend like the first 2 weeks or the first month paying a salary to someone that is not so valuable, but the next month, the value, it just duplicates. And the third month, the value duplicates. So we go on loss on the first month. It's like business. You know, you sometimes go on loss first. So we prefer to hire a cheap copywriter that doesn't know everything about copywriting, but has all the personal skills to learn how to do copywriting. So we hire that people, we teach that people, we invest a lot of time and money in that people. And then we have A-class people in our team, and they are very compromised, and they don't have like so many expectations. I don't know how to say that word in English, but they are not pretentious. They don't pretend like, oh, you give me a car and you give me a phone number for the job, you give me a computer, you give me a laptop, a chair, an office, and like they just want to work and like kick the asses of everyone. So this is the best people. And we, at the end of this funnel, we call like, that's the criteria. And after thinking that, we call like the first 10 or 20 people we have, we call just 5 minutes. Like, can you do a call right now? Yes. Okay. Hey, what are you doing? We confirm all this information, and we first filter on Trello these 20 people, like the best ones. We filter only the like 2 or 3 best people, and we interview them, and we see like if they play sports, what they like to do, what they do in an off time, like what they think about politics, if they can give you a point of view without hurting others, or they are super fanaticals. And we see a lot of human things on the people that are actually accurate. Like we've been hiring in the last months, like 7 people, I think, in the last 2 months. And these 7 people was exactly as we expected, and everything with this funnel. And yeah, at the end, we just give them an onboarding that we have on Trello. So we have on Trello a massive board with like information about us, courses they have to take, like links of Slack, Discord, like our groups, everything. So they basically join the team by themselves and basically automatically. And that's how we hire right now. And the following method will be hiring multiple people at the same time, doing kind of the same, but with more people at the same time. And we learned that from an executive guy that managed 2,000 people for years. And he said, like, you never hire one person at a time, because you stop operations to teach that person, to introduce that person. So it's better to stop operations 2 weeks, don't earn any money, don't do anything for the business. But after 2 weeks, you have 5 people ready to go and kill it.
Okay, so let's say you have let's do some example like position, right? That you recently hired for. How many? So you wouldn't have just like one kind of like candidate, you would have like multiple candidates?
I do.
So like, can you give me example of that? Like, let's say, I don't know, like, let's say copywriter, right? Like, so copywriter, how many candidates, for example, you've had for that position, or like, kind of like how you filtered them, like,
Well, we received 200 people for copywriter. We filter them based on
that is like, so you're in Argentina. So you put that kind of like, you go to Upwork, you go to Fiverr, like where do you LinkedIn, or are you locally in Argentina?
LinkedIn and Facebook in Argentinian groups. And like we receive a lot of people from other countries, and we just filter them out because we want Argentinian people, because we are from Argentina and we can have like better communication. But like if you post in these South American groups and you require English, there's a lot of people looking for jobs anyway, and they speak English.
Wow. But also, I mean, on the other side of that, I mean, you get like talent. I mean, might be like very smart, like sharp people, willing to learn, willing to like to grow. Like, but I mean, at the same time, the salary wise, I mean, it's like very, very competitive.
Very competitive, it is. And I try to look for people like myself 3 years ago. So I knew, or 4 years ago, I knew I had talent. I knew I was learning. I was like thirsty for knowledge and for things to apply my knowledge, but I didn't have the tools. So me 3 years ago, I was like making jewelry and selling that on Instagram, and I was hand making jewelry. I was like doing whatever needed to make some money. And like, I try to find these people, maybe not as thirsty as I am, but like people looking to grow, and people that don't have tools, because these people is so grateful for when you give the tools. When you give an SOP, they are so like, oh, thank you for that. Like they are not like, oh, you give me instructions, like, okay, just buy, and they do it. Like they are so happy about it.
Man, I mean, that's such a good, like, I think, it's like a lot of people watching, they might be like based in some countries, like speaking some other language. And I mean, if you speak some other language, I mean, oftentimes you have the opportunity to hire people locally. So, I mean, even for our company, I mean, we have quite a few team members from like Ukraine. So, we speak like Russian, Ukrainian, and like a lot of great talent, man. And, very comparable, like, I mean, to what you would get, like even like in the United States, what these people can deliver, as long as you said it's kind of like on the personal side, I mean, these people hungry, like willing to learn. It's like, because I mean, like it's like no one goes to university to learn e-commerce. I mean, it's like I mean, you can study 5 years and like by the time you graduate, you'll be outdated because the space changes so fucking fast.
Yeah, the key also for me is think like a billion dollar company, or maybe a $1 million company. So like, will you like Apple hire freelancers on Fiverr? Like, no, they build a team of people, and after that they get results. It takes a lot more investment. So maybe I could have made like 500K in sales last month, and by myself and some people on Fiverr, freelancers, and hire a video editor. But I decided to like build a team, and this team is like growing exponentially. When you are like 10 people, at that point, you can start to duplicate your team, because the first hires are the most difficult ones, because you have to transfer like your knowledge to someone else and your methods to someone else, or your culture to someone else. When you create a team of base knowledge, like you have a copywriter, a video editor, you should hire like, you can hire 5 new video editors, and then they should duplicate by themselves. Like, you don't need to lose more time. So you must think like a big company.
That's such a massive thing, man. It's such a massive thing. In terms of like hiring on LinkedIn, like, do you do like paid like ads? Do you boost those posts, or that's all like organic?
No. I just post a job organically from my profile, and I create like a business profile, and I put the job description pretty basic, like work offer, English required, the position, and then like a brief description, and like, please fill this Google form. And people fill the form, and then we contact them. And key thing for the Google form, you ask them to put like a link with the WhatsApp. So instead of email maybe, but we ask for their contact details in the easiest way possible for us to contact. So we ask for the WhatsApp link, because we use WhatsApp in South America. WhatsApp is widely used. So we ask for the WhatsApp link, and then it's super easy. Like, we go the form, we click one WhatsApp link, and you don't have to add to contacts all these 20, 30 people you want to contact. So that's one key thing that saved us like really few hours each week.
Wow, man, this is good. This is so good. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's Alex Fedotoff, 3F at the end, because I share behind the scenes strategies and things we do in our 8-figure business, and also in my personal life. So make sure you follow me, and I'll see you there. You know, I think a lot of people we have people in the community as well, like, I mean, doing good numbers, but I think it's, on one side, it's like they're delaying this. I mean, they might be doing, like, as you said, like good numbers on a monthly basis, but then in terms of like team, I mean, I think they're delaying, like that kind of like process, of like hiring and expanding. And but I mean, once you have that team, so then you can free up your time. So you said like one of the key things that you said before we had a brief chat before this conversation. So you want to hire this team, and you want to get rid of these like lower value tasks for yourself, so then you can focus on higher like revenue generating activities. So what are those like higher revenue generating activities for you at this moment, and how do you define them, and how do you put a value on those?
Okay, first of all, let me say something. You hire for more money, or you hire for more time. So you can decide. You can hire for more money, or you can hire for more time. And usually people think like, oh, I hired these 3 people, I should be tripling my revenue. And that's not true. Like, you don't calculate like revenue per employee, because sometimes the employee should free up your time. So if you have revenue per 100 employees, but you don't have to work, that's like way more valuable than having like the same revenue, but having just 2 employees and you working 18 hours a day to keep this business going. So you hire for money, or you hire for time. So I hired for time first, and then I'm hiring for money right now, but mostly for time. And the revenue driving activity, is like building new brands, finding new like opportunities, and learning for myself. That's where I allocate my time right now. So I learn a lot of stuff. I communicate that to my team. They apply that. And I am constantly like looking for scaling ways for like the media buying side, like angles or creatives or ideas for like my video editors. I kind of work on improving my team. So that's my mostly valuable activity. So work for improving my team and my leadership skills. And I know like that's a mistake I make. I know that I could be working in more driving revenue activities. So I can right now set up some tabula or hire someone to do tabula, and I can duplicate the revenue like in a week or something. I can do that, but like the exponential curve on mathematics, like in physics, or when you calculate that the exponential curve is always slow at the beginning and then start to peak. So I don't worry and I don't stress like not selling a lot right now, because I know like I'm creating this curve. And at some point I'll be able to hire like 10 revenue driving people, and that will just 10x my revenue in a week. But that won't be in a week. Really, it's a couple of years of exponential curve.
That's interesting. Okay, so you're thinking from that perspective. That's interesting perspective, man. That's interesting perspective. I say a lot of people in the community. We had a like a mastermind a few days ago, and like I mean, guys pulling like great numbers, like 750 a month, 1 million, few million per month, you know. And then there is like this. I think there's kind of like quite some pressure. I don't know if you put that pressure on yourself too. It doesn't seem like you do. Like last month, you've done, let's say, $500,000 in sales, right? So you are willing to sacrifice that. So, for example, this month you may not generate as much, but then you're willing to put that time up front. So then, like in 2-3 months, you'll be hitting those numbers and higher numbers. But you won't be doing like all of that work by yourself, or like won't be as involved, because you kind of like doing this more like for the long term.
Exactly. It's like delayed gratification. We talk about that on the life side, but not many people talk on the business side. So many people really, they want to hear like 100 million or 10 million this year, but they are not thinking on the 100 million in the other year. So I will rather do like 3 million this year and do 100 million next year than do 10 million this year and 20 in the next one. Thinking on exponential growth. And you think like, I don't know, Jeff Bezos started doing like trying to hit 1 million next month and then trying to hit 3 million next month. No, he was trying to build a big brand, a big empire. And then the empire just build the revenue by themselves, by the empire they sell themselves. So yeah, that's something how I look the things.
That's interesting, man. I think it's and it's like, especially coming from this like drop shipping mindset, you know, it's like, hey, you want to make profit today, who want to make profit today, you know. And like, and sometimes I mean that is like that makes like, let's say people want to transition. I mean, so what's your feedback score?
Right now is 3.8, because we had these issues that we fired this employee like 2 weeks ago. So we shipped a lot of wrong products, but the feedback score was 4.7, and it's been 4.7 for like months or weeks.
Wow. That's awesome. So, I mean, so pretty much this is still drop shipping, still from China, but it was a great customer experience. I mean, obviously shipping times are a bit longer, but I mean, still people are happy.
Yeah, we don't do custom packaging. Like the packaging has Chinese letters on the pack. Like,
really? Wow.
Literally, like the product name is in Chinese letters, and we are trying to change that. But like we had some delays because we want to like customize a lot of things at the same time and just do one big order. But yeah, we are shipping from China, 15 days on average. We have the customer service is not native, so it's people from Argentina that doesn't speak English as a native. They do speak well, but like the key is they are friendly. We are helping the issues. We are helping customers. We contact them and they feel great. Like we have a lot of automations like emails and stuff, and they feel great about the product and the brand. They know it comes from China. They know it's cheaper than Amazon sometimes, and they still happy.
That's interesting, because I think that kind of like shift, you know, from like, because I mean, you're definitely moving in the direction of brand, and like within a few months, I mean, after you have like custom packaging, you have more products there, you're building that community of customers as well on the back end that we talked about earlier. So like, it's kind of like, I mean, within a few months, it will be like very like shaping up like very well, right? And you start building something that is actually like within like, you know, some time you can even like sell it.
We are looking for sell the brand, and we are also going through like a patent process to modify the product and patent the product.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I think the big, like, I mean, for me, like, just kind of like observing how you think is that, I mean, you are willing to just like delay that gratification, even if you're not making like as much profit like this month, but kind of like dedicated the necessary resources to, bringing new people in, even dedicating the time to train new people and being patient, with that. I think that's such a big thing. So you might see like instant like results like today from this kind of like mindset, but within like few months, like a year from now, people that like just simply drop ship, as you said, like, just like random products, like just focusing on profit, then abandoning that project, just switching on another one, you'll be so much farther ahead.
Absolutely. I agree. And it's important to know that drop shipping, like the normal drop shipping, worked for me and it works. And like you can make money, but once you have some money, like the best thing to do is to delay the gratification. Like if you can live up with less money, you can invest more money, not invest like in investment, because some people think like, oh, you have to hire a developer for the product and do like a super custom product. Like, no, you have to build, from my perspective, you have to build a great team. And if you can sacrifice some profits for having a great team, it pays off. Like after 3, 4, 6 months, it pays off. Absolutely. We like our profits were higher in January than like last month. Absolutely higher, like 4 times higher. But we still happy last month because we had a bigger team, we had a systems in place. Like in January, we just did a massive winner and we scaled the massive winner and we made money. And last month we have not made a lot of money, but the team is growing, the business is growing, and you can relate. You can search on YouTube an Amazon interview to Jeff Bezos, and they ask him like when Amazon stock went from like $130 to $8 or something like that. I don't remember, but it was a big leap in the .com crash. He was super happy. He said like people is thinking I'm not happy because they don't know what's happening internally. Like the company is still growing inside, just the stock is not worth so much, but like the stock doesn't say anything. So the revenue, I will say that to e-commerce, like the revenue doesn't say anything. Like the business is what it says anything about you. And then the revenue comes. If you have a great business, the revenue comes.
That's very good perspective. I think Amazon was like very good in terms of like allocating. I mean, they've been like, they haven't been like making profit for like, I don't know, like 10, 15, 20 years because they've been reinvesting in that infrastructure. Like now there is nothing like there's no other company on the market that can even like closely compete with them because they have this like the logistics centers, they have distribution, there's like nothing else. They have such a competitive edge right now. There's like, it's impossible. I mean, maybe government can break them up like into like, it's pretty much monopoly, man. Like, so, but that happened because, I mean, they've been like thinking long-term for all of that time, man. I mean, thank you so much. So many great insights. Guys, if you have any questions, just drop them below in the comments. So Santiago, if you have a minute, maybe you'll check some of those. And man, I mean, thank you. We just had a conversation before this call. So Santiago will be helping, our other clients inside of the community as well with kind of like putting this process in place. So I'm very excited for that. I think there will be like tremendous impact because of that. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Santiago, thank you for joining this call with me, guys. And yeah. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.